Welcome to my channel, All for Health with Jane. Family, today at the Pretoria High Court was the first hearing of the Senzo Meyiwa Trial in 2024. You know, most of the time was wasted on the argument about the address on the J50 form, that is warrant of arrest, that was completed by Brigadier Gininda in the arrest of accused number one, I think. Yes, accused number one. Now the argument was on the J50 form, the address was not reflecting. Instead, Brigadier Gininda wrote address unknown. So that was the argument. So family, what surprises me is the emotions by Advocate Mgomezulu. Advocate Mngomezulu was so emotional. We thought maybe by having a long rest in December, when he comes back, he'll be healed, he'll be calm. But instead, not on the first day. It's like he's worse than he was before, because he's just impatient. He's becoming rude sometimes on questioning Advocate, Brigadier Gininda. By now, we don't know who the guilty is. So Brigadier Gininda, to my understanding, is a witness who is there to help the court find out exactly what happened. But when they question him like he's a nobody, he's like a person who doesn't understand what he's doing, I also feel it's unfair. Family, let's listen to the first two clips, and then from there we will summarize this video.
Because it's clearly asked on the J50 application, on the warrant address, which is a residential address. You can't now put a building, correctional services as a residential address. I've never seen that.
Manje anginaso isiqiniseko sokuthi mhlawumbe umnumzana Mngomezulu uchaza ukuthi ijele yindawo ekuthi mhlawumbe ingasetshenziswa njengekheli, ngoba mina angiboni ukuthi ngingabhala ikheli ngithi lo muntu usejele usekaboshiwe ngalesikhathi ngifaka lesi sicelo leso.
Mr. Gininda, you don't even understand yourself. Listen to this. On the 30th of May 2020, first time we met SB in Vosloorus. You allege that he made a confession. That's your evidence. Immediately, spontaneously, you look for somebody who can take a confession. And you knew at that time where was Sibia kept.
But that's not correct, my lord. On the 30th, that was the first time accused number one was arrested insofar as the drug dealing matter. So that was the first time he was arrested. It was before he was even incarcerated officially, in other words, being detained in the holding cells.
No, manje mina ngithi kuwe ubaba Mngomezulu uthi kuye nge-30 zika May uma uhlangana nommangalelwa uSibiya, wena uhlangene naye eVosloorus bese uthi uye wafuna ukuyozigunyulula la ukuthi uye wafuna umuntu bese ke kwagcina seyikuthi ummangalelwa usekayokhuluma nje kanjalo. Uthi cha, mina ngithi ummangalelwa nge-30 ngalesikhathi bengiqala ukuhlangana naye ezoboshelwa leliyacala lokuleyidakamizwa, akusukuthi ummangalelwa ngaleso sikhathi bese sekaboshiwe.
And my lord, the issue of getting, as Mr. Counsel is suggesting that I've made arrangement for spontaneously for someone to obtain his confession, that's the best practice. You try and get someone independent to document the confession. It is done that way, so that there's no issues of compromise or having interest in the matter. That's how it's done. There was nothing spontaneous about it.
Futhi njengoba ukhuluma nangokuthi ngiye ngathola umuntu ngaso leso sikhathi, uthi vele into ekwamele yenziwe ngoba wena usuyazi ngecala, kwamele uthole umuntu ongenalo ulwazi ngalelo cala oyikuthi uzokwazi ukuthi athathe i-statement salo muntu ofuna ukuyokhuluma.
I don't want to rush you and you don't want to rush me. I'll get into that aspect of the procedure of how to take a confession. But my concern is when you met Sibiya for the first time, you questioned him to the extent of explaining his constitutional rights relating to this case. I'm not talking about drugs cases here. I'm talking about the murder of Senzo Meyiwa. You allege that he made a statement and immediately you took a decision that this person is confessing. Let me do the formalities. My concern is when Sibiya was already arrested on a J50 by Sergeant Mkhula, he was already under arrest.
I don't understand what is the question, my lord.
Let me repeat it for you, because you tend to explain things that you don't even understand yourself. The question is, when Sibiya was arrested on a J50, warrant of arrest applied for by Sergeant Mkhula, when he was brought to you on the 30th of May at Foslora, he was already under arrest.
My lord,
Mr. Cortes, my lord, I think the counsel owes the witness courtesy in cross-examining him to say that he explained things that he doesn't understand. I think it's simply rude, overbearing, and we submit that part should be withdrawn.
Yes, Mr. Mngomezulu, let's hear you.
It's I would say, I'm glad if my colleague can pick up that. But if that is done by this witness, I'll make an example of what he's saying. Mistakenly, I've uttered words and said, you read the rights of the accused. Out of insinuation, he said, no, I didn't say that. I understand what I was saying, and he better understood what I was saying. He said, no, I said I explained the rights, not I read the rights. So I'll take him according to the attitude he wants to address me on. But as long as he's going to maintain the decorum of this court. The question that I'm still maintaining is, I'm going to establish and prove before this honorable court that when this application was brought on the 23rd of October, when it was brought, it was unlawfully granted or unlawfully obtained on the 23rd, because this accused person was already in prison. What is of pivotal importance is here, what do you submit as facts to the magistrate who's going to grant or issue that warrant? If the address appears to be unknown, obviously in the mind of the presiding officer will say it must be circulated for this person to be arrested. Then what to go to section, I'm trying to explain this so that we are in the same picture, Your Worship, my Lord.
You are not with this witness.
No, in terms of the law. But with this witness, that's why I'm...
He also says in terms of the law, you are not in the same picture. Am I correct, sir?
Absolutely, that's what I'm saying.
That's how I understand.
Yes, section...
What, Mr. Mngomezulu? Otherwise, we're going to be here until Mandela is resurrected. Why don't you put your version of what you are arguing the law is going to say and let this witness respond to that?
My Lord, I'll do that.
Because now you're putting a version,
I'll do that.
A snippet of a version, and he says to you, no.
I'll do that.
I didn't know where his address is, because I remember you saying you guys went down to go and check Nongoma, and
Correct.
he was not known then.
Correct. He was known, but he comes
You see, my Lord, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. That's why at some stage when I address the court, it will be like I appear to be sarcastic. No, my Lord, the evidence of supporting this witness, to say he went to the extent of looking for this witness, the witness that was already incarcerated, it's a redundant application, especially for section 43.
No, it's not.
I'll submit
because
it.
He says they were going to check his residential address.
Correct, ma'am.
That's what the law says.
For what?
You arrest the person, Mr. Mngomezulu, please. Otherwise, we're going to be here.
My
you
Lord.
arrest. Oh no, wait. Let me tell you my experience. You arrest a person, and then he wants to bring a bail application. He's inside the cells in jail.
Yes.
And then the state says we are opposing the application for bail because we want to ascertain the residential address of this accused. Is that not
Yes.
so?
It is so.
And then you leave them in the cells, you go to Nongoma. That's what he says.
That's
and
a
he says when
different-
he got to Nongoma, he went to a particular address furnished by the very witness.
He was actually with us, my lord.
Oh,
I
he-
booked him out and I drove with him.
And then they said, we don't know this man.
They said they know him, my lord, but he comes on regular
Oh, I see. Fine.
visits.
It's even worse.
Family, you know, I'm one of the people who was not a fan of Brigadier Gininda. You know, the picture that was portrayed to the public about Brigadier Gininda. He came to court and he's a totally different person from what the public was told about him. He's very calm. He knows his story. He's so collected. You know, his professionalism, all those things, they make me now give him my ear just to listen to him. What is he saying? And in terms of Advocate Mgomezulu family, he needs to control his temper. You know, this thing of becoming impatient, losing his temper is just switching me off. Sometimes, even if I have to listen to him, I end up, you know, just losing it, not even concentrating on what he's saying. Otherwise, what made me respect Brigadier Gininda more is what he's saying on the following clip.
Explain in relation to 636 during their arrest. You remember?
My lord, I remember, but I would like to start on the aspect that the state advocate objected on. I think, with utmost respect, I don't believe I've treated Mr. Mngomezulu with disrespect. The fact that I differ with him with regard to the version that he's putting based on the evidence that I have in court, I mean in the docket, is not a sign of disrespect. But I've never spoken to him with any disrespect, and I would like him to treat me the same. I'm here to assist the court. I will answer him insofar as the question that he wants to know, and there's no reason to get emotional on this. Let's just do the business of the day, be professional about it, and move on. That's all that I want to ask him.
Brigadier uthike ithi ngiqale la ubaba uBaloyi uye wasukuma ethi kunento afuna ukuyiveza uthi ngithanda ukuveza lana nami ukuthi angisukuthi umnumzana uMngomezulu angimhloniphi ngiyamhlonipha nanoma ngiphendula ngimphendula ngenhlonipho njengoba naye sekakhaze ukuthi ubona ingathi angikhulumi naye ngokumhlonipha uthi cha lokho akukho njalo mina ngicela ukuthi sibe la sixoxe loludaba olusilethe la siyenze ukuthi lelicala leliqhubeke sikwazi ukuthi sisize inkantolo sisebenzisane ngokuhloniphana uthi ngiyamhlonipha naye akangihloniphe sihloniphane sihloniphe inkantolo.
I will refrain from such a conduct as long as we are in the same path. And this is not a condition. I'm just saying it, and I withdraw if I offended you. But let us take each and every question and answer in a way that will assist this court to see if such confessions were taken properly.
Yes, I agree, my lord, but in answering that, I cannot agree to things that I see are intending to create a wrong impression to the court. That's what I'm here for. And if I point those things out, Mr. Mngomezulu must understand that I'm simply here to assist the court. There's nothing personal about it. I'm raising what I'm raising based on the investigation that I've conducted. It's nothing personal. And if you want to challenge me with that and point me to another direction, if of course the facts are there, I'll concede. But if the facts are not there, I can't concede to something that is wrong. But that is not meant as a sign of disrespect. It's what we are here. We are here for that, my lord.
Umnumzana uMngomezulu ke uthi ngizoyeka ke lokho njengoba uthi sihloniphane ngizoyeka ukuthi singahloniphane sizohloniphana kodwa uma ingabe mina nawe sizovumelana kwezinto ekuthi ngiyazibuza uBrigadier uma iphendula uthi yebo asihloniphane nami ngizoyenza ukuthi ngiphendule imibuzo ngalendlela uyibuza ngakhona kodwa uma ingabe ikhona indawo ekuthi ufuna ukungisa kuyona eyikuthi mina angivumelani nayo ngeke ngivume ngizoyenza umsebenzi ukuthi mina bengikade ngiphenya kuleli cala futhi ngisize inkantolo ukuthi inkantolo ibe nesinqumo ukuthi yasithatha. Angizanga la ukuthi ngizothatha izinto ngenhliziyo. Asebenzisane ungibuze ngiphendule bese sikwazi ukuthi leli cala siqhubekele phambili.
Now, my Lord, I'll come to the last question, but the first, perhaps maybe let me try and deal with what I remember what Mr. Mgomezulu raised, my Lord. The issue of the J50s, and this is my understanding, that's why I said him and I have a different opinion. We've now read section 43, I think it's clear as daylight. But secondly, the warrant of arrest or the J50 is a means of taking someone to court. It must not be construed as the violation of the rights of the person that has been arrested. In any event, the Constitution, my Lord, Section 36 has a limitation clause. Once a case is made and the warrant is authorized, what do? The person must appear in court. And the warrant of arrest is the means of taking the person to court, as it can be summons, any other thing. I'm not aware of any provision in Section 43 that says if a person is in custody, you cannot execute a warrant. I'm not aware of that. It was a means that was before us. The case that they were facing, my Lord, is premeditated murder. I mean, even if the person was outside, how do you go and warn a person outside to say you've killed the person X on this day, you must go and appear on your own? There's no way it will amount to J50, my Lord.
Uthike ithi nichazele indaba le yamaphepha agunyazayo ukuboshwa kwabantu. Mina angiboni ukuthi lamaphepha lawa ayewakhishwa ngendlela engekho emthethweni, ngoba mina umuntu nanoma engaphakathi kodwa njengoba ebhekene necala elibucayi ukufana nalo leli cala lokuthi uye wahlala phansi wacabanga ngokuyobulala umuntu othize, mina ngokwami ngiyazibuza ukuthi ke uya kanjani kumuntu nanoma engaphandle ufike uthi kuye ubhekane necala lokuthi wena uye wacabanga ukuthi uyobulala umuntu bese ngelanga elithize uye enkantolo. Ngoba isizathu sale ncwadi le egunyazayo ukuthi umuntu aboshwe ukuthi lo muntu loyo ube nalelo phepha bese uyaya uyombopha. Akusukuthi uye uyomcebisa ukuthi ngelanga elithize kwamele uye enkantolo. Uthi manje lokho yiko engifuna ukuchaza ngalo lecala.
Lastly, my Lord, on the last part that Mr. Mngomezulu asked me, my Lord, yes, they were right that were explained prior to the execution of the J50s on accused 1 and 2, insofar as the questioning that took place prior to the arrest. They were questioned at a certain stage on the 30th, and whenever we engage with them, constitutional rights as prescribed and required to do so were explained to them. But insofar as the arrest, my Lord, that took place, in other words, the indictment of them.
Family, a person doesn't gain more points, because he's able to belittle another person. He doesn't gain more points, because he's able to become so impatient. All those things are going to make him lose points. So let's hope in the coming court sittings, Advocate Mngomezulu will be able to control himself. Thank you very much, family, for watching this video to the end. Please like it before you leave. Subscribe for my channel if you haven't done so. Thank you, family. Bye.